So today we will be going over the function of the nephron. So let's start over here at the afferent arteriole, which brings in the oxygenated and nutrient-filled blood from the renal arteries to the nephron. So as the blood goes through the afferent arteriole, it comes to the glomerulus, which acts as a filtrate. So at the glomerulus, small positively charged ions will pass through and go to the Bowman's capsule, while large protein molecules like albumin and red blood cells will not pass through. So 20% of the blood will be filtered and enter the Bowman's capsule, while the rest of the 80% of the blood will not and go through the efferent arteriole to the vasa recta. Okay, so back to the Bowman's capsule. At the Bowman's capsule, from the Bowman's capsule, it will go to the proximal convoluted tubule. So over here, amino acid, sodium ions, water, and glucose will leave and re-enter the blood plasma, while hydrogen ions and creatine will enter the proximal convoluted tubule. So after that occurs, from the proximal convoluted tubule, which is located in the cortex of the kidney, we'll go down to the descending loop of Henle, and now we're in the medulla of the kidney. And at the descending loop of Henle, which is permeable to water, we're going to have water leaving. From the descending loop of Henle, we go to the thin ascending loop of Henle and eventually the thick ascending loop of Henle. Both of the thin and thick ascending loop of Henle are insoluble or impermeable to water. So the overall function of this loop of Henle is to increase the osmotic pressure by increasing the solute concentration. Okay, so now from the thick ascending loop of Henle, we're going to enter, again, we're going to go to the cortex of the kidney and enter the distal convoluted tubule. And at the distal convoluted tubule, we're going to have three things. We're going to have the reabsorption of sodium and calcium ions. We're going to have the secretion of hydrogen and potassium ions, and we're going to have the absorption of water in the presence of ADH, or the antidiuretic hormone. Okay, so once that occurs, the blood will again go from the distal convoluted tubule to the collecting duct, which is again in the medulla of the kidney, and at the collecting duct, we'll have reabsorption of sodium ions and absorption of water in the presence of the ADH hormone. Okay, so that's the process of how blood is filtered through the nephron. In the nephron, alongside the distal convoluted tubule, we also have the juxtaglomerular apparatus, which is a collection of three types of cells that regulate and control the nephron. Alrighty.